had mentioned that you were creatively blocked or
Oh,
like
wow.
bankrupt. Well, and I bring it up just because we watched one of your recent videos about a video about making a video, or was it a video about not making a video?
Yeah, about
Well,
not
there's two
making
of
it.
them.
Yeah, there's two.
Right.
Yeah.
But specifically the one about
not making a
being
video.
stuck,
Yeah.
which I loved, and I think anyone on YouTube would be like, "God, that's way too relatable."
It was spot on.
yeah, spot
Oh,
on.
thank you.
Well, tell me a bit about like when you're creatively blocked.
Yeah.
Like, how do you what do you do? Like, how do you break through?
So my mentality on it, and again, this just pertains to me. I don't know how this works for other people, but you can't force it. I always find like the more you try to be creative, the less you actually are. It's one of those moments where like you're just listening to music and it hits you. You're like, yes, that's what I could do. Okay, if it's it. So I have to. What I've been doing actually the past week has just been 3D printing objects to see what I could do with them, and then also just listening to this audio library that we use and just like shuffling through it. And when I hear a song, I add it to a playlist.
Interesting.
So I have like millions of playlists for like videos that I've never made yet. I'm like, oh, this one would be good for like. I made one playlist which won't make any sense. Sounds weird, but it was called Untitled Kidnapped Daughter Video.
Wow.
So one day I want to
Looking
make
forward
one
to that one.
where I try and rescue my daughter, Taken style, who doesn't exist, but one day she will. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, so it's just listening to music and like zoning out. Because for me, at least, I need to hear music. That's what like, motivates everything in my life. And especially with videos, because I'll just be listening to them. Like, okay, great. Camera's going to go like this, and this sounds like the feeling of it is going to be more about kind of like shapes. Like it just, and I want to do it on that. So I just need music, but it's a process. And this is why we make videos so infrequently on Vsauce, is because it takes a while to find the topic that you want to talk about, and then how do you talk about it? It needs to be done in a way that is unique to a degree. And can feel like this full meal, and I need to understand the topic better than anybody because it has to be infallible. Everything that I say needs to be exact. So just, I don't know. Hopefully, but well, I mean, I don't know. I think we ebb and flow, right? Like I'm sure you guys have gone through this.
Sure, yeah, of course.
I mean, we've talked about this before. We're like,
Yeah.
you're just, I can't even do anything, man. Like I feel like I'm being forced to make videos.
Yeah.
And I never want to be in that position. And the guilt that I feel for not making content is because I know that there are lovely people who do want to watch it.
Yeah.
And that's, but this is, I don't know. I've been actually thinking about this in the car right here. And interject whenever you want, please, because I could just talk forever.
Go for it, dude.
Is that I find myself thinking that being like creating or making things is an amazingly selfish act. Like, why am I doing it? I'm doing it because I want people to like me. That's the reason I make things, because I want them to see what's in my mind and to agree with it or to like find some semblance of themselves in it. And that's why I make things. I don't make things just for them. I make them so they understand me and so that they like me. That's the reason that I create anything. And I think that's potentially true for lots of people.
There's a lot of artists who say, I create for the purpose of sharing. Do you think that anyone can possibly actually feel that? Or do you think they're deluding themselves into thinking like, hey, I'm doing something, I'm helping the world, but really they're just kind of...
I think that you can have that kind of noble cause mentality, but there's always that you're also kind of just doing it for yourself, which I don't think is bad. Like,
Yeah.
you should do things for yourself.
I don't think the two are contradicting. Like for you, you may think like that, but still for the viewers, they get a lot from it. And maybe you did it because you just want them to like you, but you made them have a better day. I don't know. You know, it's
Right.
That's
it's
always
not
nice.
contradicting necessarily.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be siloed. It's not all black and white. There's this really lovely gray area in the middle. But I don't know. I just have this thought sometimes, and this is a kind of moving to a higher level thing where I always feel like I'm never going to be satisfied, like in anything that I do. And I think that's also a driver for why you keep making things, is that nothing is going to be good enough. There's never going to be a point where I make a video and go, that was the best video I ever made. I'm done.
That's kind of what Jordan Peterson said when he was here, is that like the purpose of life is to live on the edge of like the black and white, of the chaos and the order. I think if you ever are truly satisfied, well, it's fine, then good for you, but like that's where growth stops, right? Because if you're just stagnant, then where...
And that's the thing, like, it's not a negative thing to be that way.
Great.
It's just that, to me, I don't know what I would do if I was that way. Like, I remember when I was, like, stuck on a couch for 3 months and couldn't do anything. I was like, I'm worthless. I have no purpose. I can't make anything.
Was that when you were battling cancer?
Yeah. I was just like, I'm a piece of garbage. Like, I can't do anything, and I have no motivation to do anything. And that... The fear was, will I ever get out of this? Will I always feel this way? And will I just be complacent with what I have and not try to achieve greater? And it's not achieve greater in terms of like the things that I own. It's achieve greater in terms of who I am and the things that I can create. I don't know if that's just like very fluffy and hoity-toity, but...
No, I think it makes total sense, you know? I've always kind of been envious of people who can just be satisfied and like just happy with living the life that they have, and like it's satisfying. They come home, they're happy. I don't know if that actually exists, but I'm sure it does to some extent.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm not sure
like,
that actually
yeah.
exists. Maybe it does, but I think it's rare that
It
there's
is rare.
somebody who's just like, I have a job, I'm totally satisfied. I have no ambitions further than where I am now, and I just gonna live like this for the rest of my days. I think there's probably some. It must be very rare.
I think no one really looks at it like that. I think happiness is like in little moments. Like no one is really like, my life is great. I
Not great,
go
but
to
like
work
total
and come back home.
contentness. Like I don't know. I think of like farmers or some shit, but like real contentness in life, right?
No, I think actually, I mean, those people might exist. I do believe it to be rare. But I think Hila's kind of right with that, where there are moments of happiness. I was talking to my girlfriend about this, where, she asked me, like, are you happy? And I'm like, in this moment, yes. Like, with you right now, I am. Outside of this, there are things that I'm, like, not happy about.
Yeah.
That, like, I am sad about.
Right.
But in this moment, yes,
Right.
I am happy. But also, like, we're kind of talking about when it comes to people being satisfied, it's like a grass is always greener. You're like, which I also feel like, I'd love just to be satisfied and, like, have a home and a family and, like, a job that I go to from 9 to 5. But I assume that people in those situations are also like, man, I wish I could do anything that I want. I wish I could do, like, what Ethan and Neil and Jake do.
Yeah.
Like, it's always better
There's
on
always
the other side of
some-
the fence.
Yeah. No. 100%. It's the human condition, dude. It doesn't matter how great it is, man. You're always going to be a whiny little bitch.
Pretty much.
Yeah.